It did change my life because first I wasn't supposed to leave, then I wasn't to work again.
I'm Poppy Tooker. Welcome to our exclusive YouTube videos where we take you behind the scenes into our Louisiana Eats studio, as well as into the restaurant kitchens, food markets, and food production facilities so that you can see how we make the Louisiana Eats radio broadcasts happen. This first video was made via Zoom to celebrate Chef Jacques Pépin's 90th birthday, December 18th, 2025. Joining us are Jacques' daughter Claudine and her husband Raleigh. Hope you have as much fun watching as I did talking to the legendary chef himself. Jacques Pépin, what an honor and a privilege it is to speak with you. And the first thing I want to know, since we're celebrating your 90th birthday this year, that
Yeah.
means that you were growing up in France during and after World War II. And
Yes.
how did that experience affect you? And the reason I ask this question is because I studied with Madeleine Cammon. And Madeline Cammon told horror stories of her hungry childhood in France following the war and during the war. Did you have experiences like that?
Well, my mother was a very miserly cook. You know, she could produce food with nothing. So, and you have to realize that, yes, I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, but I never knew anything else, my brother and I. So, it's not like you look at it in the context of now and look at it the way, no, it was another world. And my mother would go with her bicycle going like 30 or 40 miles to go from one farm to another to try to get a couple of eggs or a couple of one thing or another. Because my father left to go in the resistance. So he was gone. And so my two brother and I were with my mother and my grandmother. So yeah, it was difficult time, but it's not in the way people look at it now because we were we were happy like kids. I mean, yeah, there was the siren during the night with the plane coming, so we had to get up and leave and hide under a bridge in Bourg-en-Bresse, where I was born. But for us, it was fun also. I mean, it was exciting and so forth. We were kids. So.
Well, in getting ready to do this interview with you, I there were so many things that I didn't know. For instance, in 1970, you opened La Potagerie on Fifth Avenue that where you
Yeah.
were selling soups and running a lunch counter. My goodness, Jacques Pepin, tell me about that little enterprise because I just can't imagine how it might have been to just pop in for a little Jacques Pepin soup.
Yes, well, I uh, I was working at the pavilion in 1959, 1960 when I came here. And in 1960, with Pierre Fradet, we left to go to Howard Johnson. And I worked at Howard Johnson from 1960 to 1970. Uh, then I opened a potagerie. Eventually, I set up the World Trade Center in New York. We fed 25,000 people a day in the commissary. I'm saying that, and then I was a consultant at the Russian Tea Room. I'm saying that I would never have been able to do those jobs as a French chef without the training of Howard Johnson. So Howard Johnson was very important for me. Production, marketing, chemistry of food, American eating habit. It was another world that I've never experienced before. So it was a great thing.
Well,
Yes,
you have been right there in all of those great things, it seems. And I also didn't realize that you had a near-death car wreck. You nearly
yes,
died in 1974. How did that
yes.
change your life?
Oh, it did change my life because first I wasn't supposed to leave, then I wasn't to work again, and eventually I started. working. So anyway, the world of the kitchen behind the stove, 12 hours a day, that was over. So I had already started writing for the New York Times, for magazines. So I was pushed in that direction. And in addition to this, it was in the 70s that women liberation started, organic gardening, and there was all of those women opening the little cookware shop with a cooking school in the back that was totally new. So I started teaching there, which was easy for me to do. And I ended up teaching 35 weeks out of the year all over the country in those cooking schools. So it was great.
So you were teaching in the cooking schools, but then the teaching on TV got to be a really big thing.
Yes, I mean, that was new. That was totally new. And I knew, see, I met Julia in 1960 when I came here. So she had started on television and she told me, oh, you should go on television. So, you know, and actually what happened, I was teaching in those cooking schools all over the country. And at that point, I was teaching with Martin Yen Cooking School near San Francisco. And I did it for a couple of years. And that time he told me, I have to go to KQED tomorrow at the PBS station in San Francisco. They want me to do a show. Can you come with me and do it? I said, sure. So I went with him. And I don't know, I think we bought out a chicken too. And eventually, Marjorie Poor, who was the producer, a few weeks later asked me, said, would you be interested in doing a series with us? And I said, sure. So, but I had been asked by WNET in New York and WGBH in Boston, they were the biggest station. They asked me, and I always said yes, but they never find the money, so we never did it. So there, I didn't really expect to do it, but then they raised the money, and I ended up doing 13 series of 26 shows, in 30 some
Unbelievable.
years with KQED, So it was my second home. Yeah. And
What
Claudine did quite a few of those shows with me. So, yeah.
Claudine, what are your earliest memories of cooking with your dad?
Um, Probably doing the dishes with my mom because the house was full of chefs. So if it was Pierre Frenet and it was Raymond Richer, José Fessaguet, like all of these French chefs and his best friend Jean-Claude. So they all cooked together. They certainly didn't need my help. So I was more on the set the table, do the dishes kind of,
Which is important.
which is also important. Yeah.
Very important, very important. So, Joe Baum, you must
Yeah.
have known him very well.
Very clever. And certainly my friend Jean-Claude, who was my closest friend, like my brother. I mean, we worked together for the president in France between 56, 58. And he followed me to this country. And, he got married, I got married, he got kid, I got kid. He opened a couple of stores in New York. So he was really very, very close to me. And he died a couple of years ago. Yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. What consoles you about living to be 90 and having 90 years of life and you're doing it across the whole United States, the way everybody is getting to celebrate with you. It's really a lovely thing.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very lucky this way. Very lucky. My son-in-law, Rolly, organized, he's the one who created the foundation with Claudine, my daughter. At the beginning of the pandemic, Claudine told me, "Why don't you do some show for Facebook, like 4 or 5 minutes?" So we did 400 of those, which are like 5 minutes, and we have like 2 million people on Facebook. So again, I would never have done this without Claudine, without my son-in-law. Kelsey here with my assistant is terrific. So I'm very, very lucky this way to
So,
be
Jacques,
well
you
supported.
received the Julia Child Award from the Julia Child Foundation, and
Right.
you got that award in 2015, which was the year before you started your own foundation. So, was there some sort of synergy between receiving that award and your decision to create? Nope. That hasn't, Claudine
We
is.
But
didn't decide. Raleigh and I created the foundation.
yeah,
We wanted to do, and it was really Raleigh's done, and hope you might come over and chat about it. Raleigh's done the lion's share of this project, but we wanted to do something while my father was very, very much alive, because it's, doing it afterwards, it's not, I don't think it's as fun, and there's no joy for him. So
yeah, because Rory, he is a chef, well, a chef for many, many years. And eventually, about 15 years ago, started teaching at Johnson and Well. And so he eventually got his master and his PhD at Johnson and Well. And I think part of the research he did for the PhD had to do with no-profit organization. And that's how we started more or less the foundation, So, yes, again, I would never have done that by myself.
So, Claudine, explain to everyone what the mission of the foundation is. What is the work of the foundation? What do you all do?
well, there are several tiers to that, but probably the most visible thing that we do is we support existing community kitchens, which Raleigh, I'm sure, can talk to you a little bit about the ones that we support in NOLA. But so we support them financially and also sometimes with equipment or whatever they need. Instead of creating our own community kitchens, because I figure and we believe that if a neighborhood, a town, a city, a state has a community kitchen, they know much more what their students need, as opposed to what I would think that we would need. I mean, one of the first asks we had was for a washing machine and a dryer, because most of the students were homeless and they couldn't clean their clothes. I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have thought of cutting boards and knives. So, it really depends on the organization and the support that they need. Raleigh, do you want to jump in?
I think that
So
within 6 weeks, I think I can train someone to wash salad and peel potato and sharpen a knife and poach an egg. And if that person likes it and stay there, 5 years later, maybe that person is the chef there and in a little restaurant, and they've redone their life. So it's a good thing, and we've been very, very successful with that, right?
yeah.
And really, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bottom line is, Poppy, we think that learning to cook is transformational. I mean, we all need to eat to live, but it's through cooking that we really thrive. And when someone learns how to cook, they can take better care of themselves. They experience
Okay.
personal growth. They can take care of their families. Their health gets better. They can save money in the kitchen. And also, there's this great workforce development opportunity where, with a relatively short amount of time, they can learn fundamental skills in food safety and get themselves entry-level jobs in food service, an industry that's desperate for workers.
Jacques, you must have known Ella Brennan.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yes. Uh, I think I met her there the first time with Helen McCulley, was the
Uh-huh.
food editor of McCall House Beautiful. And in the 60s, I went to New Orleans. And at that time, I know Emery Lagasse was working at Brennan. And I met the
At,
family
at
there. Sure,
Commanders,
yeah.
that was the Commander's piece.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
commanders.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you must have known Paul Prudhomme, of course, too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was new to me. I mean, it was another world. Yes.
Well, I would encourage anybody who's interested in supporting us to become a member of the Jacques Pépin Foundation. The barrier to entry is pretty low, I think $60. There's a special $90 one for the 90th year, but $60 is a pretty low barrier to entry. And it makes a great gift. And we also you get a video recipe book, and there are, I don't know, 400, Raleigh said 400 chefs from all over the country,
Yeah.
and a couple from outside the country. So you get access to this amazing, amazing video recipe book that is just so beautifully done, if I do say so myself, because I did not make it. I mean, the technology is just stunning.
Yeah,
And
Poppy, one of the things that's really terrific about the video recipe book is that when you open up a page, you have a video box and a written recipe. So you can read the written recipe and then you can watch a video of the chef who wrote the recipe actually make it. So you could have that on your laptop, on your countertop, and you could have it demonstrated to you in real time.
Yes, from Jose Andres to Daniel Boulou,
Yeah.
from Thomas Keller to
Andrew Zimmern.
Andrew Zimmern.
it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
And the other
Oh,
part that's really fun is that a lot of our community kitchen partners, because we've now supported over 200 organizations around the country, we ask and invite them to also participate. So, Alex Harris, who's an instructor at Emma's Torch in Brooklyn, New York, his video is right there next to Thomas Keller's, elevated to that same level of teaching and inspiring people to cook. And so it fits with Jacques' signature phrase that we picked up on, which is, we are all equal in the eyes of the stove.
Yes.
unnecessary. Well, I have observed over the last 30 plus years how it's just come to be in America. You don't have to know how to cook to feed yourself. You can go to the grocery store and fill up a basket with food that's going to go home and go in your freezer and in your microwave. And what a pitiful existence that is to live, to miss the joy that comes from cooking, right?
Yes. No problem, right? I mean, we still cook. I mean, Rolly cook more than I do now, but he made lunch for me today, and you're doing dinner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did
But
you?
Bobby, we're absolutely with you in that, we're losing our food literacy. We're losing this understanding of how to cook. And it used to be that kids would learn it in school, but they're not learning it in school. Or they'd learn it from their parents, but now their parents don't know how to cook. And when you couple that with this idea that 60% of the calories that Americans consume is ultra processed food, and that 4 of the 10 most fatal chronic diseases are diet related, if we could just get people to come back into the kitchen and cook together and sit around the table and put down their phones and enjoy the time and slow it down and eat more whole, healthy, fresh foods, our society would be much better off in a whole bunch of ways.
Thank you for sharing your story. And it was really, 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 really a treat. I hope we get to meet in person one day.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for watching our Louisiana Eats YouTube video. You'll find all 15 years of our radio broadcasts at poppytooker.com. Hope to see you again soon, either on the NPR affiliate where you listen weekly or right here on YouTube for lots more delicious fun.